All right, welcome to another edition. I'm going to say groundbreaking. Um, this one you're going to want to share. You're going to want to show people who have been in this for a long time, who have lost faith, who say nothing's changing. This is never going to happen. This is a blog post you want to share with them. Okay? And I don't say that very often, do I? I'm not being superlative or whatever, and just buckle up. Okay? So, I've been gone for 4 days because it's been boring. I'm trying to turn this down. Okay, so trying to, I'm watching their TV because I'm trying to see what time the news comes on. Because since it's Ramadan, the TV programming is different. And I want to see, there was a meeting that took place, and I want to see if they're going to show it on the TV. Okay, so let's get into it. Welcome. It is March 14th. It's Pi Day. Happy Pi Day. 314, 3 point, yeah. Okay, some of you know, some of you don't. All right. It's gonna be noisy because I don't normally record at this time. Bear with me. What else? Spotify. The last time I did this, I left out Spotify.com. If you listen there, my FX Buddies is there, and I think they show a video if you have a paid subscription. RSS.com has a very good transcript. So go there. That's my FX Buddies is there, rss.com. The blog, which is where you're really gonna want to go today. myfxbuddies.blogspot.com, but also in the show more whatever box, right? Because they have different details, right? Whatever they call it. Click there, and there should be a link to the blog if I did everything correct. There's a link to the blog, and then the blog has the video, which the video is on Rumble, but you don't have to go there because it's the exact same video. Okay? All right. Now that all that's done, I think this is episode 27. Yes, it is. Okay. So, I'm going to just go over. Okay. So the title is, look at this title. Central Bank to increase the value of dinar and control the market. That is not clickbait. That is the title of an article, a very good article that's going to go all through Dinar land. By the end of the day, tomorrow, it's going to be all through Dinar land, which it should. Okay, so, but we're going to get back to that later. I don't know why I can't make this picture fit here correctly, but I don't know who this guy is. He must, you know what, maybe he's a Twana 20. But right here is the CBI governor, Al-Alaq. So he was definitely up in the place. All right. So yeah, I bet you that's a Twana 20. So this is the meeting with the Parliamentary Finance Committee. But first, this is all about education. Here is an article, if you have not read this yet. ATM service. This whole article is all about ATM. The whole thing, every detail you can think of, it's clearly telling them, you know what, someone keeps calling me. Sorry about that. I told you it's going to be some interruptions, but if I can focus, you can focus. How do I? Okay. They're going to call back again, and then I will block them. If they call back again, I'll block them. Okay. Let's see. So yeah. So you read that and see. They even use milestone in the modern era. See that? That's the end of that sentence right there. So please do read this. Also, they have one machine that you deposit money, and the other one you take money out. So I thought that was interesting. So I learned something because I didn't know, here in America, the same machine does both. You can deposit a check, take out cash. You know, that's all I ever use, the ATM machine. But I know there's people that make their car payments and stuff through the ATM. So yeah. But anyway, so yeah. So this may have been 3 days ago. Because I was going to do a blog post, but, I just lose track of time and everything. Now, I really hope you will read this article. And if you have green friends, friends that are greenies, and we don't need oil. This is the Secretary General of OPEC. That's the guy who is the head of OPEC, and it changes, right? He wrote an article I'm just going to read this first paragraph, okay? So his name said in an article seen by these people, if oil disappears tomorrow, there will be no jet fuel, gasoline, or diesel, and cars with internal combustion engines, buses, and trucks will be stranded, airplanes will stop, and freight and passenger railways that carry them will stop. Diesel-powered, right? It says that diesel-powered, people will not be able to go to work, children will not be able to go to school, and the shipping industry, which transports goods and passengers, will be devastated. There will be no point in calling emergency services, and the majority of ambulances, fire engines, police cars, rescue helicopters, and vehicles will be down. Then he goes on to explain everything that we use day in and day out that has oil in it or is made from a derivative of oil. So read this, share this. There's no way we can go away from oil, which means we're never going to get zero carbon, which we're carbon. You're made of carbon. I'm made of carbon. The trees and things that make our food, they need carbon to grow. So this crazy stuff they're trying to push on us, and that's who I think he wrote this to, because they all know that. All the oil people, they know that. It's the West that's trying to do this craziness, and I think that's who he wrote that for. Okay, so read that here. So this was one of the first articles that came out talking about reducing the dollar rate. Chamber of Commerce reveals their expectations for the parallel market in Ramadan, and it says decline is the dominant feature. So you can guess why I wanted you to read that. And this is the article you may have heard. It says we can change the rate in hours. Let me see. Surprises, change, see. But we are in a situation where crisis or surprises could occur that change the course of the exchange rate within hours. Okay? So, because some people were like, I don't see any article that says that it could be changed in hours. Well, there you go. Although at this point, they were still talking about, I believe, the official rate. Okay? So, now, this is yesterday. Why is the strategic partnership between the United States and Iraq important to the Iraqi people? You should read this. This is, I think this is written by, is this the one? This is written by, oh, what's her name? Alina Romanowski. It is kind of long, but you should read it. And I think this is supposed to be, I don't know. I know we say Ramadan, but I hear them saying Mubarak. I don't know what that means, but as I listen to them, they're not really saying Ramadan. They're saying Mubarak, but whatever. Yes, you should read that. And it's just interesting because it's saying we did all this stuff. We've been the biggest contributor to Iraq. But one would argue, yeah, because you tore Iraq up. So you needed to build it up, right? But you see how long that is? Yeah, that's Alina Romanowski. Okay. Then, after that, look at this. This came out last night. And I call it another comprehensive history. And I say this was just the beginning. So the title of this is also good, but I know not many people are going to read it because it's long. But particularly if you're new, this would be good. You see how long that is? I know, but this is life-changing. Sometimes it's going to be long, right? Iraqis in the midst of exchange rate fluctuations. Why do we need the dollar? So I'll just read a little bit. Most Iraqis have been trying for a long time to find out why the Iraqi dinar collapsed against the US dollar. Because remember, the population's very young. There's a lot under 24. There's a lot under 35. Then there's a gap between 35 and I think 60. Then that's like the next group of people. But anyway, so if they're 24, they've been under American guidance, put it lightly. Guidance. They've been using the dollar. How about that? That's better. They've been using the dollar their whole life, right? Until just recently. Okay. While many of them wondered about Iraq's need for this currency, which has come to control all economic transactions in the country, creating markets that control the exchange rate. So here it says we're moving to end the dollar. They're talking to a citizen. He explains stuff. I don't want to spend too much time on this because even though this is good, now they're saying now we get our salaries in dinars, but consumer goods are still priced in dollars. So, then it says in the beginning, they go back to money before World War II. Then they talk about how America got in there. A dollar float. Someone's going to be excited to see that. It says Johnson & Johnson. The dollar went through its biggest crisis when the dollar was floated by Johnson & Johnson. Don't they make baby products? What do they have to do with money? So I'm actually going to look that up because I'm curious. I have heard of this Charles de Gaulle. I've heard of him. He's a French president. But anyway, so you see how far it goes back? And then they go, the dollar prevails. And they talk about how the dollar is now the petrodollar, right? And everything is linked to oil. So they're linked to the dollar. And yeah, so good. This is definitely citizen education. Outside of them sitting in class and learning all this, they can go here, read this article. This is the history. This is why we are where we are. Here's another heading, currency basket, right? So, and then it talks about how they're diversifying. Listen to this. As long as oil is priced in dollars, and as long as oil exports dominate Iraqi exports in light of the almost complete disappearance of non-oil exports, but they're working on that, right? It becomes impossible for Iraq to liberate itself from the US dollar. And then there's more. So you should read that. I know a lot of people aren't, but you should. All right, here's my one commercial, but we don't even have time for that. Here's another thing that went to electronic payments. Tax Authority. They're announcing shift of tax payment to electronic payment system. We can skip that. We can skip that. Okay, here's the article. This has been through a lot of Dinarland, but I know some people don't go to some sites, so I posted it here. This is an article from Jerusalem Post. And right now, Iraq isn't really favoring Jerusalem, right? But they ran this article in their news. So you would never know. Oh, okay, so if you've heard that it was said Sadani's going to make the dinar $1.32, whatever. No, that's not what it says. But this is the article that has the words in it. So Iraq's ruling coalition may call for early elections. So this is good. It talks about so much other stuff, right? And then right in the middle of all of that other stuff, Here's this sentence. The Iraqi government is currently weighing the question of changing the currency so that the official cost of a US dollar will be 1.32 dinars instead of 1,320 dinars. So right now, you have a dollar in your left hand. You might as well hold 1,320 dinars in your right hand. So what this article is saying is you're still going to have that same dollar in your left hand, but now you're just going to have 1.32 dinars, but it's the same, it's going to have the value to $1, right? So then somehow you do some kind of math and you get 76 cents. I don't know, I'm not a math person. And plus, they just put this out that's not the rate they're going to go to, right? But it's right there. It's smack dab in the middle of that article. And then they go on talking about politics again. So that's crazy. But there you go if you want to read that. That is there. Okay, so these are the articles for today, March 14th. So I'm not excited. I'm really shocked, right? I'm encouraged. Yeah, really surprised. Okay, these are all the words I'm trying to think. Speechless because they did so much so fast. Okay, so here we go. Parliamentary finance. This news is not more than 7 hours old at this point. At the time of me recording, it's about 7 hours old. Parliamentary finance. We look forward to coordinating with the central bank to increase the value of the dinar and control the market. Oh, so part of it got cut off. Well, whatever. The governor of the central bank, Al-Alaq, pointed out today, Thursday, the establishment of basic rules in order to monitor the remittance process and analyze monetary operations. So I'm waiting for the list of the rules, which I think they'll put on the CBI website. These are just articles for now. There's nothing on the CBI website yet. Okay. The Finance Committee, headed by Atwan Al-Twani, that name should sound familiar. He's been in the news for about 2 weeks now. And I bet you that was the guy in the picture that's sitting at the lead chair, right? And in the presence of its members, met with Al-Alaq, the governor of the central bank, to discuss monetary policy, the banking system in the country, and ways to increase the value of the dinar. And notice, they're not saying to the official rate, because that would just be 1310 and we don't care about that, right? They're increasing the value of the Iraqi dinar. Woohoo! That's what we want. Okay, so he stressed at the beginning of hosting the session, which was held at the committee's headquarters, the importance of following up on the economic file and monetary policy based on the supervisory side and finding appropriate solutions to the obstacles facing the work of the central bank. What could those obstacles be? It's got to be people who don't want the rate to change, right? I don't know. The Finance Committee also expressed its aspiration to coordinate. I mean, of course, it could be the IMF and us too, right? But anyway, the Finance Committee also expressed its aspiration to coordinate with the central bank in order to increase the value of the dinar. Third time they said it, right? Control the markets in order to alleviate the burdens of citizens and address the deficit. What's the deficit? The fact that they can't make change? Could that be it? I don't know. For his part, Al-Alaq reviewed the economic and monetary aspects, pointing out the establishment of basic rules in order to monitor the remittance process and analyze monetary operations. I know it's very repetitive. I don't know why they write that way, but they do. Al-Alaq praised the role played by the Finance Committee in following up on the country's financial and economic movement. Let's see, and this is the last paragraph. The committee discussed with the governor of the central bank the approved international standards, future plans to improve the status of banks, the possibility of expanding relations with international banks, drawing up the structure of banks and moving towards the electronic payment process, which they're very advanced in, right? Not where they want to be, but probably almost halfway. In addition to the possibility of amending the central bank law, and they're definitely going to amend the central bank law. So that's it. That's the article. But it's everywhere. Here's the same article, just a little bit of, certain sentences may be in a different order, but here's another title. Central Bank Governor establishing basic rules to monitor the remittance process. Let's see. So if you read that first article, you're good. You don't have to read the others. Just look at the different titles. Among them concerns the dinar, the outcomes of Parliament's finance meeting with the central bank. But it's the same. So, all right. Here's another one. Iraqi lawmakers to discuss monetary policies and banking system with the CBI. Same article. Same words. Matter of fact, this one's shorter, so they took out some stuff. All right, now check this out. Distributing student aid via electronic payment cards. And let's see, can we blow this up? Can we enlarge this picture? No. But when you go here, you should enlarge it. Jeez Louise. It's a boy and a girl, but he's in front of the computer. He's getting scanned, and they're going to do his thumbprint, and he's going to get a card. And all of them, right? So the electronic government communication team, in coordination with a number of local banks, has identified 12 primary schools. Now, isn't elementary here in America? I think primary is elementary school, right? But I think they're like 12. They look 12 to maybe 14. So this article says primary school, so that payments will be made to those requested by them via electronic payment cards. If they're under 18, they're going to get a card. So that's that. So that's just the beginning, but they're giving the babies. They're giving the children. Here, electronic services for students in schools, indicating the student segment is very large as it represents about a quarter of the population. So they're getting their cards. And then here, another one in Baghdad, launching the electronic payment project for students. So here's the same little boy, same girl. I don't know where they are. I guess now they're going to use their card. And see, I think this is going to be on TV, or they're going to make commercials, because look at these men back here. They're in business suits, and this camera is here. So this is, I think, going to be, it's historic for one thing. But I think this is going to be on TV, and that's what I'm trying to catch. So this is the article that says government program, important steps towards digital transformation, electronic high school girls, electronic payment, and gradually getting rid of paper-based cash dealing. But here, high school for girls. So there. So is it primary school? Is it high school? I don't know. Maybe it's both. Because the little boy looks young. But see, they're small compared to us Americans. This boy, like, to me, he looks 12, but he could be 14. He could be 16, right? Especially, I have some big children. My children are 6'2" and 6'3". So, yeah. Anyway, not that you need to know that, but so that's why it's hard for me to gauge the age of them by their size. But yeah, so here's some more pictures you could look at. And look, I was really hoping I could get this one. Oh, okay, this one is. So look, they have aids to explain to them. Here, you can use your cell phone. It's the key card, right? The key services. Oh, now they want to tweet. Okay. The let me see. I was thinking they would have tweeted all this stuff. They being the government of Iraq. So see, they have, this looks like maybe an office that's been put together for this purpose. I don't know what that is right there, but over here there's some stuff. They have a QR code they can scan. So, yep, the youngins are getting their debit cards, which also maybe that's how they're going to get their oil money. And you say, oil money, Tish, what are you talking about? We'll come back to that. Look at this. A call from the Article 140 committee in Basra. Come to some city I can't say to receive your dues. They're paying. I don't, anyway, slice it. This is money. This is not, ew, what is that? Oh, this is not property. This is money. In Iraq, they use this, see how it says meal? When they use meal, that's payment. I don't know why it translates to that. Wow, they're not going to let me translate this. Huh. Anyway, what time is it? Okay. We're not going to go super long. We're almost done, actually. So yeah, it says they invited citizens benefiting from package 1 to package 21 to come to the office building in that city in Basra for the purpose of receiving the instruments for receiving their entitlements. Could that be a debit card and a bank account? Probably. So we launched a call, blah, 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 for the instrument of the amount disbursed to them. Those who have not received checks. So they want to make sure they're alive, want to make sure they're not dead. If they're dead, it even says if they have died, they want to make sure the beneficiaries are set up to get the benefits. So we have Article 140 being paid out. We have the central bank and the Parliamentary Finance Committee saying we're going to increase the value of the dinar. We have the children getting their debit cards. What else? There's another thing. They're creating, that's what this says. The Iraqi Finance Department creates an audit and control department. Another one. And another one. Anyway, they have some, but this is a new one. One of the most important tasks of the department is to follow up on expenditures and funds spent in each department of the ministry, in addition to other oversight tasks in each department, and complaints and reports of cases of corruption and suspicion. And guess what? They're announcing a competition to report corruption. I just saw the headline. I haven't read the article. So I'm most likely going to post a post tomorrow too. There's other stuff going on, but this is the focus of the day. This is most important. So yeah, and here's the official document saying they established that committee. Here, then they have, wait, I thought there was one more. Here, Washington talks about a tremendous achievement. Confidence in Iraqi banks is increasing, and we are working to eradicate corruption and theft. Now, this is Alina Romanowski again, and this is like a shorter version of that really long article that earlier I referenced. So, actually, you could probably read that and you would see the, they just take out some stuff. And here, the new generation, which is a political party in the House of the Parliament, they're recommending Kurdistan government quickly begin localizing employee salaries. Why is it so urgent now? Why are they in a rush to get them signed up to get cards and bank accounts? Because they're about to get paid. Okay, I think we can skip. There's more stuff here, but I'm not going over this because we don't have time. Well, if you care about Iran, sorry, let me not say that. If you are interested what's going on with us in Iran, there's some articles here, but I'm not going to go over them, okay? Because it's already 30 minutes, but it's interesting to read, at least in my opinion, but I understand I have more time on my hands than a lot of you. Revealing a movement to lift U.S. sanctions on Iraqi banks. So they've been working on this. This is probably some of the pre-work that they're doing before Sudani takes his trip to Washington. And actually, there was another article that said part of Sudani, part of the reason for Sudani coming to America is to talk about lifting the ban off the banks. Okay, so what I wanted to close out with these two articles. They had this man on TV. There's a video, but it's all in Arabic, and it's not a YouTube video, so I can't embed it. An economic expert talks about the best way to invest in gold. Why are they talking to them about investing in gold? They don't even have their money yet. Right? They don't even have their increase in purchasing power yet. And they're already talking to them about the best way to invest in gold. But I mean, and it's not, they have, I think Tuesdays and Thursdays, they can go in and buy gold. They have it there, they talk about, they explain what it is and stuff like that. But that's on TV today, the very same day where they're talking about we're going to increase the value of the dinar. They don't say when, though. They don't say when. But, and then check this out. 3D printing. And I think that's what this video that the government of Iraq just tweeted out, I believe it's a video of this facility. But normally Twitter says, do you want me to translate this? But yes, I still say Twitter. I'm not complying with X. I don't know what X stands for. All right. Iraq adopts the three-dimensional plan to support 5 sectors in Basra. So I'm guessing this is 3D printing. But this is interesting. But I know they do have there was an article that actually did say 3D printing. So that's why I guess they're expanding it. But it says a 3-dimensional plan. But maybe it's not. But anyway, yep. So they're like, hey, we've been in a rentier economy for a long time because of fluctuations of oil sales. And guess what? Oil is at $85 today. That's almost a $2 increase in a day. So yeah, you could read this. It's interesting, but we don't have time because it's 33 minutes. All right, so I'm going to wrap up here. Today is a good day in Dinar land. A very good day in Dinar land. If you were feeling down, that darn Tish, she keeps saying June. She keeps moving her date out. We still got to deal with the stuff over there that's going on, right? Pizza Land, and I forget what I call the other one, Ice Cream Land, right? We still got to deal with that. So anyway, but this is all good. So like I said, share this with people who are down, people who think nothing's changing, nothing ever changes, it's all the same. There you go. All right. Thank you for listening. I hope this is helpful. I hope this brightens your day. Accumulate while we wait for the rate to appreciate. Don't miss any meals and pay all your bills. Thank you for listening. if there's a follow, whatever, join, follow, what's the other thing? Box, whatever box where you're listening, watching this content. Click that so when I do post, you'll be updated because I don't post regularly. But I do intend on doing another one tomorrow, I'll tell you that. It won't be as good as today, I bet you. So the next thing we need is to see the lower denominations. That's the next thing that would be very encouraging. All right, until next time.